Hello and welcome to the iconic Isle of Man TT circuit, where during race week the Super Twins will be lapping at over 120 miles an hour. Well, we're here today to take the road-going versions of those race bikes around the TT just to compare them, see how they get on head to head. We've got the WK650i, the hyper-popular Kawasaki ER6n, and we've got the Suzuki SV650, brand new for this year, and this, while not eligible for the Super Twin class, the hyper-popular MT-07. So we're going to go on a lap around the circuit and see how these guys get on head to head. Okay, so we're here with the rest of the group test team. We've got Paul and Mark, my colleagues from BikeSocial, and we've got TT winner Milky Quail, who knows every single centimetre of this circuit. And well, let's start with the Kawasaki ER6n, the most common bike on the lightweight TT grid. Milky, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was really good. Around town, it just felt a little bit cumbersome, a bit boring. But when you actually stretched its legs over the mountain, it really showed its, it showed its class really. So yeah, I was impressed with it over the mountain. But around town, I didn't particularly like it. But yeah, all good.
Most expensive of the four.
I think it's starting to fit its age. I'd imagine there's a new one on the way, but I think it's a really sweet bike. It's almost a standard setter. Most people out there racing them in the lightweight using those bikes. You stretch its legs a bit. It's got plenty of power. You have to work at it a bit. But yeah, it's a sweet little thing.
Yeah, revs well as well, isn't it? Cool.
It's the best one to ride to work, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's got the biggest fuel tank. There's a paired version on the market. You can get accessories like luggage and so on and so forth. I agree, it's not the most exciting, but if I was going to be commuting 50-60 miles a day, it's probably the one that I would choose.
Yeah, the advantage of having all four back to back. I found the seating position really comfortable, but Suzuki, probably the lowest seat.
Yeah, for me as a short rider, it's really accessible and it feels sporty. But that seat is so hard. My cheeks were hurting after a few minutes.
You were missing.
I personally, even as a short guy, I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of that height or that low height for a bit of padding in that seat. It ruined a great bike for me.
Yeah, no, I really like the Suzuki. A lot. I think that's probably my favourite. Really, it really was excellent. It felt as if the power band was a little bit peaky, so it gave you a little bit of a kick. The engine was nice and smooth compared to the twins. With it being a V configuration, it felt a lot smoother. Yeah, it felt punchy. It excited me. It got my juices going. I really liked the Suzuki. Yeah, really did.
I couldn't agree more. It's people talk about, we haven't got LCs and what a kid's supposed to ride and stuff like that. And for me, it's like going riding SV650 because it's fun. It's fast enough. It handles. It's a really nice package. It's the sportiest package of the lot. And although the seat's really low, I didn't find it uncomfortable at all. And I'm 6'4".
And what about the Yamaha?
The Yamaha, obviously it's got a slightly bigger engine capacity than the other three here. It was my favourite. It was really sporty. I recognise that the suspension's maybe a little bit cheap, but I loved it. You just got on it, it felt light, it feels so light and so revvy. I loved it.
I was a little bit disappointed with the Yamaha, really. I half expected it to be really, really good, and it was. The engine was really punchy. It looks probably the best out there, but the suspension just lets the whole show down. It really is. When you start to stretch its legs, it doesn't like that suspension at all. I didn't like that.
No. Look, I'm heavy, I'm probably one of the heaviest here, but it felt like it was like suspended like an 80s trail bike to me, do you know what I mean? But it's a real shame because I think the packaging of it, the way it's finished, the design of it, I think it's lovely. The engine's lovely, it's got loads of bottom, loads of mid. It starts to lose a bit when you start to rev it, but it's a really sweet bike, but that suspension just drives me mad.
Sure. And what about that WK then?
Yeah. Again, I was pleasantly surprised by it. I didn't particularly think it was going to be any good, and looking at it, it's not my taste and stuff, but actually when I rode it, it changed my mind. I really liked it when I rode it. The gearbox is, out of the whole four of them, that gearbox is sweet as a nut, absolutely sweet as a nut, and you can just rev it, and it makes you want to ride it hard, you know what I mean? It's really good. So, yeah, I think, £2 cheaper than the rest. If you're a little bit strapped for cash, it's definitely worth looking at for sure.
Look, I've been avoiding riding it all day, let's be honest. And then I rode it down the last section, down to the Craig where we're sat now, and I have to say, it's much better than it looks. But the only thing is, you get on it and you look at it and there's like nasty bolts and finish everywhere, and you just think, I'm not sure how long it lasts. And I was riding it flat trying to follow this nutter over the mountain, you know, and it's like all the whole time I've got my finger over the clutch thing, and is this going to be alright? Is it meant to be flat out like this? So look, if I never ride one again, I won't be disappointed.
I think you're being so harsh on that bike. You know what? I had low expectations of WK or the CF Moto, whatever it's called, and I kind of drew the short straw and got it first, which was kind of good, because if you buy that bike and you never ride another bike, you actually go, this is alright, this is pretty good.
In the 1980s.
It feels dated, but you know what? If you spent $3 and a bit grand on that and you didn't know the other bikes existed, you'd be happy enough, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon we could sit here for probably another hour discussing the pros and cons of those 4 fabulous little bikes. They're a lot of fun, all of them, but you can read the full review at BikeSocial.co.uk.